competitive rates, low closing costs, and quick turnaround by local decision makers. Investing and growing our community is what we do. At First Federal Savings and Loan of Hazard, we believe that there's no place like our home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance helps protect more than 474,000 Kentucky families and businesses. Many of our members have been with us for years, even decades. Perhaps it's because of the competitive rates or our unmatched service. Or maybe the biggest reason is they know they can count on Kentucky's insurance company to be there when it matters. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
At Appalachian Wireless, we get it. You need reliable service without breaking the bank. That's why we offer affordable, unlimited data plans and advance pay options to fit any budget. Are you ready to ditch your overpriced carrier? We've got a switch and save deal plan just for you. We're your local experience provider from Appalachia for Appalachia. So stop by your nearest Appalachian Wireless retail location today or visit us online at appalachianwireless.com to see how easy it is to save and get connected. Because we are you, we are Appalachian Wireless.
My name is Isabella, and I am from Madison County, Kentucky. Instead of choosing a larger university, I chose to attend Alice Lloyd College because I wanted a more personal college experience. The small class sizes provide a close relationship between students and professor that isn't possible at any other university. ALC is more than a place to learn, it is a place to grow, serve, and lead. Learn more at alc.edu.
Welcome to the Bank of Hindman volleyball game of the week, and we are at the Morton Combs Athletic Complex on the campus of Knott County Central, and we have Knott County Central 22-2 facing the Johnson Central Lady Eagles, who are 12-10. Johnson Central comes in here ready to come off a 2-loss, but they've played Shelby Valley and they've played Paintsville. Knott County Central with 2 wins this past weekend at Corbin, so comes in on a hot streak and continue the hot streak. I'm Manus Blair, and I'm joined by Coach Betty Von Cottle, and Betty Von, going to be a nice matchup as we've watched the warm-ups of Johnson Central, and now we're watching Knott County Central.
Yeah, it should be a very good match like we've had all year, Manus. 2 good, nice, hard-hitting teams. Look like they're pretty quick. From warm-ups, they look like they had really good hands, so they should match up pretty well.
And, you know, like we were talking about, and I was kind of on the series, Johnson Central comes in the series. This is the 11th time they have met, and they lead 8-2, and it's been since 2021 that Knott County Central defeated Johnson Central. Johnson Central with a rich volleyball tradition.
Yes.
And so really good athletes, and, you know, last year we had them in a game here. I believe it was here at Knott County Central. And, you know, when you look at the Lady Eagles, first of all, you have to go by junior Chloe Reed, who number 3, who has 215 kills. And then you have, secondly, Macy Clark, who last year as a freshman impressed us, and she has 96 kills. And all of that is led through, as we always talk about, the setter, who is a freshman, Maddie Kahn, who has 286 assists. So we've talked several times about what the setter, the libero, and those people do for a particular team. And this team, everything goes through Maddie Kahn. And being a freshman, she's done an outstanding job.
Right. But when you look at those, the only advantage I see that Knott has is they use 4 hitters, where looks like Johnson Central may go to 2 or 3. They probably rely on 2 or 3 hitters. You've got Knott County, who relies on 4, 5 hitters. So it's really hard to play defense on 4 or 5 against 3.
Yeah, and, you know, when you're talking about Knott County Central, of course, you have 3 people that have over 100 kills. Taylor Baker with 206, Samara Bailey with 153, and Ava Waddell with 109. And then once again, it leads back to the setters, and the setters being Zoe Miller with 258, who just recently picked up her 1,500 assist, which is amazing. And she just being a junior. And then, of course, Avery Conley, the senior, has 210 assists. So just a lot of different things on the – and, you know, we talked about it, communication. And I think that Knott County Central has really improved their and they did struggle a little bit in that first set that we had the last game. But throughout – since the Leslie County game, they have improved their passing and being in system.
And Matus, the thing was, the last game, they did come out a little flat-footed, but being a what do you call a
top-level team.
They brought themselves out of that, and then they finished the game, the rest of the games, the matches, you know, to the positive.
Oh yeah, and you know, I mentioned Johnson Central. They just battled a 5-setter last night with Paintsville on the road, and that's their rival. So we'll see how they come out after playing their rival and last night. So with that being said, I think they're going to do the national anthem, and if they are, we're going to take a break, and if they don't, we'll continue to kind of preview both teams. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ward Coles Athletic Complex. And it looks like they're going to do the national anthem. So we're going to take a break, and when we'll come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the event that's going to take place by Hometown 24. And thank you, Bank of Hyman. So we'll be right back.
If you're looking for a convenient pharmacy location with a friendly, caring staff, look no further than Heinemann Pharmacy, located inside the new Heinemann Primary Care Center. Our pharmacy is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 6:30, but always stays open until the last patient is seen. Whether you need to pick up your refills in our drive-thru, need a flavored medicine for your little ones, or something to feel better after a visit to the clinic, the Heinemann Pharmacy inside Primary Care has got you covered. Located at 425 Heinemann Bypass. Call the Heinemann Pharmacy at 785-0513.
No matter what town or community you live in, there's a Tim Short dealership nearby. That's because our family of dealerships are dedicated to serving the folks throughout Eastern Kentucky. Our employees are your friends and neighbors, helping to support the local economy and provide safe and affordable transportation to everyone that shops the family of Tim Short dealerships. Our entire inventory can be found with the click of a button at timshortautogroup.com. Visit us online and join the thousands of customers that took the short drive to satisfaction today.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
Good times, good food, and good people at the Goal Line Bar and Grill. Come try their daily lunch specials as well as the best steak in Hazard as voted by the people. Looking for something fun to do? Hit up the tables and the dartboard. Also, trivia night every Tuesday evening. Goal Line has all your favorite big sports events on the big screen. There's something for everyone at Goal Line. Goal Line Bar and Grill in Hazard.
Welcome back to Hometown 24 in the Bank of Heineman volleyball game of the week, and we're in the process of teams being announced. Johnson Central is went through with their starting 5 or 6. I'm almost in basketball mode, Betty Bud. But talking a little bit more about Johnson Central, and you look down their schedule, and of course they're 12-10. But when you look down there, you see they have played many different teams throughout the 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th region.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. When I coached years ago, we wanted to play the best of the best from. We went from Belfry to Louisville. But having to play in that 15th region day in and day out, we never found what you would even call a mediocre team. Everybody we played over there was really good. So I was thinking 12-10. If you play in the 15th quite often, that's a pretty good record.
And, 15th has played very good volleyball for quite some time.
Yes, they have.
And 14th is just now catching up depth-wise, and we've talked about that numerous times. Depth-wise that has occurred. And when you're talking about the 15th region right now, when you look at RPI just came out, and Johnson Central in the RPI is 5th in the 15th region. Shelby Valley is 1st, Pikeville is 2nd, Paintsville 3rd, and Floyd Central 4th. And I'd say you could probably put 4 or 5 more teams underneath there. Is very competitive. In the 14th region, Knott County Central is 1st, Leslie County is 2nd. Wolf County 3rd, Hazard 4th, and Powell County 5th. So kind of parallel to some of the coaches' rankings and those kinds of things too. And, Coach DeLong in his 3rd season at Johnson Central, and really looking forward to the athleticism of Johnson Central and Knott County Central being presented tonight. And thank you for all the viewers that are tuning in tonight. And if you're watching and everything, hit that like and share button so that everybody can watch this excellent volleyball game. And once again, if it's anything like the ones we've had this year, it should be a barn burner.
It should be. I just enjoy seeing these young ladies out here playing something they love to do and putting a lot of time and effort into it.
And our R1, and sometimes I fail to mention the officials, but our R1 is Roy Spencer, and our floor R2 is John Stacy. And the volleyball will be served by, let's see, I forgot who ended up. I don't see a volleyball.
I don't either.
And it will be Johnson Central. Oh, I don't see a volleyball, but there's 3 down there on the table. Maybe I need to have my vision checked. Well,
they just didn't have it picked up.
Just hadn't got to that point.
Yeah.
Number 5, and that will be Mia Eastep, a junior, will start out for Johnson Central. And it goes Sluss with a little bit of overpass. Miller over the top. Ratliff with it back to Lakes, and it's going to be put down by the Sluss. Goes back to Baker. Nice up by Eastep. Lakes to Reed, and it's going to be into the net, and that's going to be point Knott County Central. And like I said, Chloe Reed is their leading kill person or specialist for Johnson Central. Kinley Baker to serve. Nice up that time, and it's going to be into the net once again, and it's going to be 2-0, and I'm sure that is very uncommon for Chloe. Baker will serve once again. Call by Reed goes back in, and that's going to be Baker. Sluss with a back set. It's going to be a free ball for Johnson Central. Ratliff to Lakes goes all the way across. Reed goes short. Back to Reed once again over the top, and she's going to score, and that's going to be the first point for Johnson Central.
You can already see the big girls from Johnson Central using different hits. They killed one, got it blocked. Now they're tipping just trying to get Knott County to open up their defense.
Lakes with the serve. Goes to Zoe Miller. Nice job by
shot.
Ratliff. Free ball for Knott County Central. Conley back set, and it's going to be wide. And that's going to be point Johnson Central. So far, Ratliff has imposed her libero skills for Johnson Central.
People doesn't realize what a change in the game that these liberos make.
Lakes, and the ball was tipped by Miller, and that's going to be a point for Johnson Central. And that's 17 aces on the season for Hannah, and Hannah is a junior. And that's going to go wide. Point Knott County Central service her as Waddell will go out.
Curveball.
And looks like it, Kaylee King. And Kaylee, sometimes I've said Kinley, and I do apologize. Sometimes I get those K's mixed up. But Kaylee comes in and does an outstanding job serving the volleyball as always. And she is their leading service ace person. Nice up by E-Step, goes into the middle. Conley there. Sluss with a call. Baker off the double block. Con in the middle to Reed, and she's going to put it down, and that's going to be point Johnson Central.
You can tell that Johnson Central has weathered a lot of storms. You see how that ball come off in that libero. Instead of getting out of control, she controlled her body and gave the ball right back to the setter.
J.C. Baker, a senior, serves it, hits the net. Able to contain it was Miller. And Bailey's going to hit it long, and that's going to be point Johnson Central. 5-3. Baker with 12 aces on the season. Nice tumbling. Conley back set to Bailey. Bailey will push off the double block. Con back to Reed, and that's going to go into the scoreboard area, and that's going to be point Johnson Central. As Reed starting to get a little bit of her footing under her now.
She is.
6-3 Johnson Central, set one. Thanks for joining us here on Hometown 24. And that was, I think I heard out, but then King went after it, and that's going to be an ace for Baker, and it'll be 7-3 Johnson Central.
And if you notice, Knott County has moved Samara Bailey to this side of the floor to help block their to try to play defense on these big hitters over here from Johnson Central.
And Baker doing an outstanding job of serving, and it's going to be 8-3 for Johnson Central. And it's going to be Conley's got to go for that.
She does.
She's got to go for that. And Coach Cornett says, give me a timeout, and we'll take a timeout along with her. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Hometown 24.
Kentucky Mountain Health Alliance Incorporated, Little Flower Clinic, Quantum Healthcare, and East Kentucky Chiropractic, offering medical, dental, pediatrics, chiropractic, behavioral health, women's health, rheumatology, mat program, x-ray, and transportation. Little Flower Clinic Rheumatology, Dr. Travis Sizemore and Brianna Cornitz, treating autoimmune disorders such as lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, and more. 487-9505. Kentucky Mountain Health Alliance Incorporated, your medical home in the mountains.
Welcome back to the Bank of Hyman volleyball game of the week, and Coach Cornett with a timeout here as Baker is on a roll for Johnson Central, and it's 9-3 as they go score 6 straight on the Lady Patriots. Sluss to Conley, goes across to Baker, and it's off the double block, but it comes down on Johnson Central side, point Knott County Central.
I don't think Johnson Central was hardly ready for that banked off ball there, that block.
Bailey to serve. Bailey, a senior. Con goes across to Clark, and it's blocked. And that was by, I think that was by Kraft.
I think so.
And Riley Kraft, who's in, is an 8th grader. So excellent job by Riley. Samara Bailey with the serve. Ratliff, and it's going to be point Knott County Central. Bailey to serve again. Ratliff up with it to Kahn. Outside to Reed. Conley with a up. Miller off the double block. Goes back, and it's going to be Clark with the kill, and that's going to be point. Johnson Central, 10-6. And it's going to be an overpass, and Clark with the kill. Point Johnson Central. Waddell to come in, and King will go out for the Lady Pats. Back to serve will be Reed. Reed with 23 service aces, and it goes into the net. Baker will come in for Conley. 11-7. Johnson Central, set number 1. Zoe Miller to serve. Zoe Miller with 32 service aces. Ratliff to Kahn. That's going to be a push. Miller comes in to Baker off the double block, and it's going to be point Knott County Central.
Great job by Baker by not trying to go over, though. She just hits the ball so hard, she just goes right into them.
Eastell gets it across to Baker, and that's going to be off Ratliff. That had a lot behind it, point Knott County Central. That's the first one that Ratliff really ain't been able to contain.
Exactly.
Can't get them all, though, can you?
No, but she's trying.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for. Miller to serve. Eastell goes down the line. Miller, Sluss, Baker over the top, and it's going to be point Knott County Central. Knott Central draws within 1 at 11-10.
Johnson Central has not been able to use their big middle right now. Craft's going to play hard, but it's hard for her to contain that big girl.
And they must have heard you. Baker double block, but there's Sluss right behind the double block and goes across Ratliff to Kahn, back across to Eastell, and that's going to be a nice hit. And that's going to be point for Johnson Central, 12-10. Kahn out, and Lakes will come in. Going back to serve will be, I believe that is Day, and it is. That's Reese Day, a junior. 26 service aces. That's going to be an overpass, Lakes, but the Kraft is there. Push into the corner, but Reed gets it. Lakes goes to Eastell. Miller across to Baker off the double block, and that's going to be point, Knott County Central. And 25, I'm glad I asked those girls about that number.
Sure.
That's Leah Hall. Is number 25. Didn't have her on the list, and that's going to be an ace for Baker, and that will draw Knott County Central even at 12 apiece. By the way, we talked about RPI. Knott County Central is number 9 in all of the state of Kentucky in RPI. And that's going to go long, and that will boost Johnson Central back to 13-12.
Who'd you say was number 9? Knott County?
Knott County Central.
That's pretty good. I don't know if I was ever ranked that high.
Kraft is with a kill, and it's 13 apiece.
Well, not I.
Yeah.
My team.
Yeah.
I take that back.
We.
Yeah.
We.
Them.
Them, yeah. Ratliff back into the game. Had an outstanding JV game.
Sure did.
3 sets. And it's going to be a push that time for Eastell. Miller says, behind the 3-meter line was Baker. It's going to be a free ball for Knott County Central. Bump set goes to Waddell off the double block. Nice help by Hall. Reed behind the 3-meter line with a kill. Point Johnson Central.
Johnson Central does not cover their blockers. I know that's probably their defense, and I guess they're so tall that they figure they're either going to block it or tip it extremely high. But when you're playing against Baker, Waddell, and Bailey, they jump pretty well too.
And that's an outstanding serve that time by E-Step. That's going to be an ace, and it moves not Johnson Central up 15-13. Man, that comes off her hand different.
It does.
And Bailey's going to hit it right on the line for the kill, 15-14. Outstanding serving by E-Step. That thing has got Rattlesnake written all over it. 15-14, and now we went through one rotation. It's Kenley Baker back to serve for Knott County Central. Lakes goes across, and there's Reed, but there's Baker. Miller almost catches him, and there's Bailey. Oh, no, I was already given a point. Nice job. Goes to Waddell, left hand over the top. Push, but Baker's there. Miller, Waddell over the top of the double block. Lakes goes across to Reed. Nobody there.
I like the way she went up, and in the air, she just opened her body up to the line.
16-14. As Dave will come in for Hall. Lakes to serve. 16-14. Very competitive first set here.
Nice up.
Conley back to Miller with left hand over the top. Lakes with it. Free ball for Knott County Central. Outside to Waddell, but Ratliff is there. Overpass. Sluss with a call. Short push, and that's going to score by Miller.
Yes, Johnson Central leaves a big hole behind their blockers.
16-15. Reed up to Con. Back to Reed over the top. Miller gets it. Conley goes back across to Baker. Ratliff. Conley short to Bailey off the double block. There's Ratliff, puts it over. Called by Conley. Back set to Miller down the line. That's a kill. Ratliff says, I should have got that one.
You notice that 80% of these shots that these players are using are going down the lines now.
Yep.
That's how much the game has changed in the last 10 years.
Overpass, Baker point, and Knott County Central draws ahead 17-16. And Coach Long says, give me a timeout. We'll take a timeout on Hometown 24. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Hi, my name is Heidi Hoffensperger from Hoffensperger Law Office.
Debt can feel overwhelming. The calls, the letters, the constant pressure, it's hard to see a way forward. You're not alone. The law office of Heidi Hoffensperger has helped countless people through their bankruptcy, giving them a fresh start and a chance to rebuild. Bankruptcy isn't the end.
The legal world can be a very, very difficult and complicated world, and I don't want that for my clients.
Call today and let Heidi help you with this new beginning.
Welcome back after the timeout by Johnson Central, 17-16, Knott County Central set number 1. Thanks for joining us here on Hometown 24, 40 years of local sports in the coverage area. I'm Manus Blair, joined by Betty Von Cottle, and just like every other time we've done a telecast, an outstanding first set so far, and we'll see who can come out on top right here.
Two very competitive teams.
King with a serve. E-step. Con with a call. It's going to be a free ball for Knott County Central. Conley across to Baker off the double block, and that's going to be point, Knott County Central. We'll see how Johnson Central changes their defense a little bit. And they are very long. You know, you've mentioned it several times already. King serves it into the net. Point Johnson Central.
I was just getting ready to say, you know, neither of these teams have service errors has not been a problem so far.
So far. You shouldn't have said it, Coach.
I know.
Oh, nice serve, and that's going to be an overpass, and Reed says, boom. And that will tie it up at 18 apiece.
That's exactly what you do with an overpass.
There's no
You
question
don't
in
play
that.
with it. Yeah,
I think there may be a slight indention in the floor
there could
there.
be. Those are, you just don't play with those. You score.
And with her size and athleticism, she showed what she can do. Baker cuts it over the top, and that's going to be a point for Knott County Central. Smart play by Baker. 19-18, Bailey to go serve for Knott County Central. Ratliff Kahn out to Clark. Cross to Baker, she draws it off the top, but there is E-step. Short to Clark, a little bit out of system. Goes back to Baker down the line, right on the line. That's going to be a point, Knott County Central.
Johnson Central's setter seems to be a little offset right now. I'm not exactly sure if they've changed rotations or what.
Ratliff to Kahn. Clark into the net, and that's going to be point, Knott County Central. 21-18, set number 1.
Clark is a big girl.
She's a big girl. Moves well.
Yes.
And Reed does too, and there is a point for Johnson Central.
I like the way the setter pushed the ball to the left side, and then she pushed the ball to the right side, so that's moving that defense.
Reed with the serve. And that's going to be an ace. Point Johnson Central as they draw within 1 at 21-20.
Sluss does not do that very often.
No, it just shows you what a server
Exactly.
Reed is.
They got some wicked spin on these serves.
Goes outside over the top, and it's going to be Sluss to Conley. Goes back to Baker, double block, and is that in? It is, and that's going to draw at 21-21. And you can see there on that side, they're double blocking Baker on that left side. Let's see if Reed can continue it on. And she does, and that's going to be service ace, and Johnson Central will go ahead 22-21. Reed will continue to serve. King, Conley with a bump set, 3 ball for Johnson Central. And that's going to be hard to handle, but they're going to get it over. They scramble to get it. Conley with a call, goes back across, and once again, neither team right now getting in set. E-step draws it, but King's there. Conley back set. Day, Clark in the middle off, and it's touched, and it's going to be point Johnson Central, 23-21.
This is where Johnson Central has to score because Kraft is overmatched with Clark.
And,
I mean, Kraft is playing as hard as she can, but you're talking about a good 2.5 foot, 2 feet difference.
And we'll just stay here, and 23-20 is Coach Cornick's her second time out in set number 1. Trying to break the momentum with Chloe Reed serving back there. She's done an outstanding job keeping it in, but she's also been very aggressive with that serve, Betty Vaughn.
Yes, and if you, watch these serves. These balls are spinning sideways, so you can imagine if you do not hit that exactly right, you have to get that spin off that ball. If not, that ball's taking off. And it's not going forward.
And like you said, Sluss does not miss very many.
No, she doesn't. And she's struggling handling these. But like I said, this side spin that they're putting on this ball.
And once again, does the same thing. Is nice hustle, and it's going to be point, which leads to set point number 1 for Johnson Central. Serve goes to King. Conley out to Kraft. Push off the double, and it's going to be point. Knott County Central. Miller will go back to serve. Waddell Baker in. Conley out. King out. And it will be set point number 2 for Johnson Central. Miller to Reed. Called by Day. Push down the line, and that's in that corner, and that will end set number 1, and Johnson Central wins it 25-22, and we'll be back for set number 2, so stay with us on Hometown 24.
Hometown Pharmacy of Hazard is here to meet all your prescription and healthcare needs. Pharmacist Darren Smith and the experienced staff provide fast, reliable service with the professionalism you expect. With friendly service and a commitment to quality care, Hometown Pharmacy is proud to serve the Hazard community every day. Ask about their new app. Hometown Pharmacy of Hazard, quality care, professional service right here in your community.
For more than a century, we have stood by the people of Hazard and Eastern Kentucky. Now we begin a new chapter with a new name. People's Bank and Trust Company is now PBT Bancorp. Our look may be new, but what matters stays the same. The same local faces, the same personal service, the same commitment to your goals. PBT Bancorp is here to help you grow, plan, and build for the future. PBT Bancorp, preparing for a better tomorrow.
Welcome back as we ended set number 1 with Johnson Central winning 25-22, led by Chloe Reed serving. And what does Knott Central need to do to get over the top here in set number 2, Betty?
Well, they have to work on handling these serves. This is probably, and I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it's the worst game that Knott Central's had receiving serves.
Yeah.
Because usually they receive serves very well.
And like I said, that's a two-pronged process.
That's true. I
with
agree.
Reed serving really, really well. So just got to keep moving through the ball. It's kind of like a knuckleball in baseball. You just got to wait till it quits knuckling, but it's easier said than done.
And even when they're pushing the ball, you've got to have somebody in their face to make them decide if they're going to go to the left corner or the right corner. They're getting too many just free shots somewhere on the floor, and, one girl on the back can't cover that 30 feet on a good hard push.
Baker with a serve. Nice up by Ratliff. Goes across to Reed. Double block by Miller and Bailey, and that's going to be point, Knott County Central. What does Johnson Central, Betty Vaughn, need to do to continue on their success they had in the first set?
And this is it. They can't sit here and get down 5 or 6 points to Knott County, because then they're going to struggle the rest of the game just trying to stay in. So they've got to.
And somebody was in the net. It looks like to me it was
number 12, I believe. May have been number 9.
No, 9. It
number
was 9. Yes,
it was.
And it was, of course, that's Baker. Kinley Baker to serve. Serves it in the net. Point Johnson Central. Conley will come in for Baker. And Lakes will go back to serve. And I really like Johnson's, by the way, I haven't mentioned it, but I really like Johnson Central's uniforms. I really do.
You're in
I like the camouflage. Yep. It's that time of the year.
I got you.
Hunting season.
I got you.
Ratliff bump set, goes all the way across. Cut by Day, short to Bailey, and Bailey hits it wide, and that's going to be point Johnson Central.
See, Bailey's got to get back to what she's been doing, just hitting the ball hard and down instead of trying. She's trying to go around these players.
Just hit it.
Yeah, she's got to hit it.
What you saying?
Yeah, exactly. She's got to hit it. Let it fall where it may.
And Lakes with a missed serve, and it'll be 3-2 Knott County Central. And Con will come in for Lakes. Waddell out for Knott County Central, and King in, and King will serve. Like I said, King is the leading service ace person on Knott Central. She has 51 on the season. Reed, a little bit of an overpass, and that's going to be a point. I think Reed trying to get to the net a little bit quicker. She takes that and comes straight in on the middle hit.
See, this is where you have a seasoned team. Knott County got beat, but look, they're right back out here playing just as hard as they were.
Goes back to Day, and it's going to be off a Day, and it's going to be point Knott Central. Well, and, you know, you become time-tested. When you've been there and done it, then you'd think you were always going to do it. And
Exactly.
if you've never done it,
You want to do it.
you want to. It's just hard to get across that threshold.
It is, and it's a mental block.
Yeah. Con comes up to Reed, and Reed off the double block, and that's going to be a point, Knott County Central. And Coach DeLong says, give me a timeout, and we're going to take a timeout here on Hometown 24, so stay with us.
When financial challenges threaten your future, you need clear guidance and proven solutions. Call Keisha Caldwell Feltner, Bankruptcy Express. Trusted legal experience to help you take control. From stopping creditor actions to protecting your assets, Keisha and her staff deliver efficient, reliable representation focused on results. With flexible payment options, getting the help you need is more accessible than ever. Keisha Caldwell Feltner, Bankruptcy Express. Professional service, practical solutions. The fresh start you deserve.
Welcome back after the timeout by Johnson Central. 6-2, Knott County Central set number 2. Johnson Central took set number 1, 25-22. King will continue to serve for Knott County Central. Ratliff with the overpass. Sluss elects to take it. Bump set. Free ball, Johnson Central. Con goes into Reed. Single block. It came off and it was touched by Bailey. So point, Johnson Central. Clark in for Ratliff. Going back to serve will be Baker. And Baker is a senior for Johnson Central. Conley out to Baker off the double block. Baker gets it. Conley with a call. Free ball for Clark. Mishits it a little bit. Hit a change up.
Yeah.
Baker over the top. There was Reed to Clark. Conley, Sluss. Miller draws it down the line, but nice job by Eastel. Reed kind of hit it off her hand a little bit funny. Sounded funny. Point.
It did.
Knott Central.
Sounded more like a smack than a hit.
It's kind of like Baker's serve, man. She hits that thing and it's just like she's slapping it.
Yeah.
Kind of like my PE classes at Campbell's Branch. Con hits it over there. Reed hits it into the net. Point, Knott County Central.
I have to say Reed was going for that one.
I don't think she does anything but hits it hard.
Yeah, the setter's setting the ball a little low right now.
Ratliff to Con. Con goes up to Clark. Once again, a little bit of mistiming there. Point, Knott County Central. Johnson Central got to have something here. That's going to go long. That'll be point Johnson Central.
They got that the easy way.
Yes.
It's 9-4 Knott County in the second set.
Reed to serve, and you remember what happened when Reed served the last time. She served for a bunch of times. Conley with a call, goes out to Miller, who has to draw it off the double block, and she does. Smart play by Miller.
It was.
Point Knott Central.
That's what Miller has to do. Even when she's oversized, that's what she's got to play smart.
And, you know, she's out of bounds beyond the 3-meter line,
right.
And that takes away a lot of her options, too. Oh, nice serve. Ratliff unable to get to that one. Point Knott County Central. (11-5), set number 2. Eastel off the double block. Baker, there's Ratliff. Con with a call. Nice setup for Eastel.
Nice
Waddell's able to get it up. Miller bump set all the way across. And it doesn't cross, and it will be point Johnson Central. Remind you, Friday night, David Adams and Tim Sloan and Brian Johnson will bring you Hazard and Raceland from the Holler in Hazard. That's an overpass. Eastel with it. Waddell's able to do something with it. Free ball for Johnson. Goes back. Oh, man, that was behind her.
Yeah.
Point, Knott County Central. Day comes out, and in comes Hall. Ratliff to Lakes, goes up to Eastep, push down the line. There's Miller. Sluss back to Waddell, and that's going to be Reed with the up. Miller to Waddell, and that's going to be blocked, and it's going to be point. Johnson Central, Clark and Lakes teamed up on that one. Clark goes back to serve.
It's hard to hit over Clark.
Oh, she's got plenty of size.
She does.
And that's going to be tipped by Hall, and that's going to be point, Knott County Central. And Clark is just, as we've mentioned, is just a sophomore. He's got a lot of potential. (13-7), Sluss to serve. Ratliff unable to contain it. Point Knott County Central, 14-7. Thank you once again for joining us here on Hometown 24, the Bank of Hyman volleyball game of the week. Lakes cross. Eastep tries to go back. Called by Baker all the way across. Man, that had spin all over it. Point Knott County Central.
Johnson Central is in that trying not to lose instead of trying to win.
Got to hit that
Yeah,
ball.
they're trying to play safe ball, and it's not working.
Goes all the way across, and that's Baker down the line, and that's what you're talking about,
Yeah, that's
right?
what you've got to do.
And that's going to be point Johnson Central.
You can see they're all shruggish, and they're just walking around on the floor. You got to play.
Eastep to serve. Miller to Bailey. Bailey sets herself and puts it down for the kill, 16-8. She kind of did like a double jab and then got herself going forward. Can I say double jab? I just said it, didn't I?
Say whatever you want to.
Might not know what I'm saying, but and Ratliff unable to grab that one, and it's 17-8, Knott County Central. Johnson Central just lost their composure a little bit, as you're talking about. And
they won that first game, and then they've come out here just, like I said, they're sluggish and not handling the ball well at all.
Lakes turns it back. It's going to be an overpass. Reed with it, but Baker able to get to it. Nice. Off the top, and that's going to be point. Nice. Everything going right for Knott County Central right now. 18-8, set number 2.
But what is that? It's a veteran team.
Yeah.
They've been through the highs
wiping
and the
it
lows.
out. You
Exactly
wipe
right.
it, say it away, and then you just keep right on going. And nice serve. Nice hustle by Eastep. Keeps it alive. Free ball for Knott County Central. Into the Miller to off the top, but Lakes takes it. Reed playing a little game of tipping it. And what else says I'm not going to tip it anymore? Point Knott County Central. Timeout. Johnson Central 19-8. Lady Pats set number 2. Stay with us here on Hometown 24.
Here at Klutz Auto Sales in Hazard, Kentucky, we specialize in used vehicles and we work with all types of credit. We're with you before and after the sale.
We stand behind every car we sell, ensuring that you drive away with confidence. We want you to be totally comfortable with your purchase because at Klutz Auto, you're the priority.
We've been your trusted dealer for 47 years. Visit us at Klutz Auto Sales across from Walmart on Highway 80. Call us at 606-439-5065.
Welcome back to the campus of Knott County Central High School, Morton Combs Athletic Complex, B.B. King Court, as timeout by Johnson Central at 19-8 of set number 2. Johnson Central took set number 1, 25-22. Johnson Central got to find what they had in the first set. And,
yes.
And you said it probably as best you can. They just got to be aggressive serving it. You got to be aggressive in hitting that. Can't be pushing the ball all the time.
Well, and they're having a bad game, but you don't, every time you miss the ball, turn around and look at your coach, what do I do? Okay, you know what to do. You don't have to ask. Just get out there and play the game.
And the timeout reaps reward, and it's 19-9. Day will come in for Hall.
Now here, Johnson Central is going to get to see how they're going to fight back. They're down 19-9. Are they going to fight or just let this game play out and start another game?
We'll get ready for the third set by getting in some kind of rhythm.
Exactly. That's what they need right now.
System goes to Bailey, and she hits it in the net. That's going to be point Johnson Central. And, you know, a lot of times when you've gotten on that bus and driven for an hour and so, and you come out a little bit flat, but they did not.
Right.
That's going to be long, and that's going to be point Knott County Central, 20-10. Con will come in for Lakes, and King will come in for Waddell.
And I don't know, I had teams that would do that. We would win, and that 3 minutes in between games was like eternity, and we'd come out total different team.
And each team is a little bit different.
They are.
And that's going to be a service ace for King, and that'll be 21-10.
And then you were right a while ago. That's when everybody cuts the mics off because, you know, I'm going to call a timeout and have a little talk.
Reed back to – no. They faked me out. Goes back to Baker, and Baker will push a little bit short. She was going to go thin, but it just didn't cross the net.
She had the right idea because this spot was open.
Just didn't get it across the net. Point Johnson Central.
And right here, Johnson Central has to play. You're going to get 1 point at a time.
Baker with the serve. And that's going to be
that was a nice
free
push
ball
by
for
Samara.
Yep. Goes back set to Miller, nobody there, and it's going to be long, and that's going to be point Johnson Central.
But she's got the right idea. She's going to the line.
Just didn't execute it.
Right.
Didn't get over top of it enough. I love Baker's serve for some reason. Over the top, but there was E-step. Short to Clark, blocked by Bailey, and that's going to be a point for Knott County Central. 22-12. Craft in, Sluss out. Bailey will serve. Baker out for Johnson Central. Goes across, and that's Clark. Nice shot, but it's saved. Rally, free ball, Johnson Central. Once again, goes the Reed off the double block. It will be a free ball for Johnson Central. Con to Clark in rhythm, but there's Bailey in the back. Baker over the top. Overpass, and it's going to be point. Knott County Central, 23-12. The whole time, Johnson Central was in what they need to be,
right.
And then Knott Central scrambles and able to get the point. Con to Reed, push over the top, but Baker comes back up on the reflex. Day free ball, Knott County Central. Conley out to Baker. Baker off the double block, and it's going to be point, which leads Knott Central to set point number 1, 24-12.
Johnson Central is just struggling right now to get back together.
Just a little bit off kilter, and that's going to go wide, and that will send Knott Central to the win of set number 2, 25-12. And when we come back, each team has one set. We'll have set number 3, so stay with us here on Hometown 24.
Here at Klutz Auto Sales in Hazard, Kentucky, we specialize in used vehicles, and we work with all types of credit. We're with you before and after the sale.
We stand behind every car we sell, ensuring that you drive away with confidence. We want you to be totally comfortable with your purchase because at Klutz Auto, you're the priority.
We've been your trusted dealer for 47 years. Visit us at Klutz Auto Sales across from Walmart on Highway 80. Call us at 606-439-5065.
This is News 12.
Since 1985, Hometown 24 has been serving this community with local programming produced by local people.
Hornet's going to air it out. He's got a man out here. Linden caught it to 45.
Using the latest video technology to bring you the news, sports, and local events that matter to you.
First on your Hometown News tonight.
I'm Harold Mullins, and thanks for joining us.
40 years is a long time in Eastern Kentucky. Here's to 40 more.
Welcome back to the Bank of Hyman volleyball game of the week. We just ended set number 2. Each team now with 1 set apiece. Johnson Central 25-22 in set number 1. Knott County Central 25-12 in set number 2.
It was like a mirror image. First game, everything went for Johnson Central. In the second game, everything went for Knott County. So now they're dead even. So let's see who comes out and gets their game plan back together.
You got 3 more sets, and who can win the 2?
Right.
So, as we've said, Knott County Central comes in the number 1 RPI team in the 14th region, 9th in the state of Kentucky. Johnson Central RPI number 5 in the 15th region. And by the way, for those that's interested in knowing, the first round of the state tournament, the 14th region will play the 15th region at the 15th region winner. Last year, if you may remember, Ashland of the 16th region came here to Knott County Central of the 14th region, and it is a draw kind of situation where they rotate. It's not an RPI. Like I said last year, I thought it was RPI in the first round, and I was incorrect. So
That's
maybe
okay.
the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
No, I was definitely incorrect. So
I know it's good for people back here to get to see that, but I really liked it when the state tournament was, all in one spot.
it's just bad that one of the teams in that first round throughout the state of Kentucky doesn't get to go to the state tournament
Right.
where all the teams come together.
Right.
But it is exciting. Last year, Knott Central had it here, and it was
I
really
agree.
exciting, and I didn't get to come.
I agree. It was.
You and Katie did.
Right.
And that's going to be a block. Nice job by Sluss to be behind the block. She's going to roll it across. Johnson Central unable to take advantage of that. Waddell's going to hit it. It's going to go long, and that's going to be point Johnson Central.
And, a couple of years before is when Wolf County played Notre Dame at Wolf County.
Yeah, that was really exciting.
Just to go see.
Yeah.
Just to go see those big teams come in here and play, because you see volleyball like you don't see around here.
And that's going to be a point for Johnson Central. And East Elk will continue to serve. Miller back set to Miller. Oh, Baker was able to get back to it. Free ball for Johnson Central. East Elk goes to Hall, across to Reed. There's Baker. And that's going to catch him off. And, you keep talking about right behind that there's that open spot, and that's where Zoe Miller went to with a point.
Like I said, I know the guy down there is probably better at coaching than me, but you would think you'd try to fix that if they're going to hit that continuously to score points.
Likes to serve for Johnson Central, 3-1. Johnson Central here in set number 3. Conley outside, and it's going to be kind of a free ball as Ratliff with a call. Goes to Baker off the double block, and it's going to be a point for Johnson Central.
That's a big double block. That's Bailey and Waddell over there. But she hit them instead of trying to go over them.
Mm-hmm. Conley across, Miller over the top, and that's going to be a point. Nobody there for Johnson Central. King in for Waddell, and Con will come in for Lakes. Johnson Central getting off to a good start here in set number 3. Reed, Reed. Conley with the stop. Free ball for Johnson Central. Once again, back to Reed over the top. Nobody there. Point Johnson Central.
Shows how strong Conley's hands are. That came straight up of a spike ball, and she stuck that one hand up there.
Had a big paw on it, didn't she?
Had I done that, my hand been laying over in the bleachers somewhere.
Conley to Bailey through the double block, and it's going to be point. Knott County Central. Kraft in for Sluss. Baker in for Ratliff. And that's right in that coffin. Couldn't have reached out and put it any closer to where it needed to be. Kahn back to Reed with a push. Conley, King with a call. Free ball, Johnson Central. Reed to Kahn, middle, Clark over the top. Score. 6-4 Johnson Central.
And see, Knott is doing, which I know that ball came from a different spot, but there's too big of a gap between these blockers and the support players behind them.
Reed with the serve. That might have been going out, but King unable to do anything with it. Remember what Reed did in the first set while she was serving. Kraft with a hit off of Ratliff out of bounds, and that's going to be point, Knott County Central.
It's a good job by Kraft, left-handed hitting on the left-hand side. She has to hit the ball. They have to pass that ball over her body to get to for her to get to it.
Miller to serve. Across the east out. Miller back to Baker. No. That was a quick hit before the double block got up. Point, Knott County Central. It's going to be 7-6 Johnson Central. Miller to continue. Free ball, Knott County Central. Waddell. Miller back set to Baker off the block, and it's going to be point, and Knott Central will draw even at 7 apiece.
You were talking about that quick set. The more you play out of this region and the farther away you go, teams down in the state, that is their set. Everything is low and quick.
You call that zero? Is that what you call that?
I call that zero all over the place. That's all they run.
Overpass. There's Eastelt right back at Waddell, and that's going to be a point for Johnson Central as they go ahead 8-7. Thank you for Roberta Waddell down in E-Towns tuning in tonight. Tim Eldridge down in London, Kentucky. Ratliff overpass, and she's going to score the point. And she does a little, I don't know what that was. That was a victory dance, I guess. 9-7 Johnson.
Relieving pressure.
Yeah. King Tut, I think, by Steve Martin is what it looked like there. That shows you how old I am. Anyway, here goes Miller, back set. Oh, I don't think it went around the antenna. Nobody made a call on it. Pushed down the side, and that's going to be point. Johnson Central.
That's the best way to open defense up is hitting. Both teams are hitting the ball in the corner, so it's keeping this defense spread apart, and you've got gaps when you want to hit, when you can hit them.
And then you use that variation once they adjust to that, correct?
Right.
Service her. Point, Knott County Central. Taylor Baker to serve. Draws it down, and that's right on the line. You couldn't have drawn it up no better than that as Lakes puts it right on the line. 11-8. Clark to go back to serve. Clark probably could just serve it straight there and be over top of the net. Miller back set. Kraft, and that's going to be a kill, and that's going to be point Knott County Central. Thank you for joining us, Johnny and Jackie Gayhart. Thank you to all the people that tune in on a regular basis on Hometown 24. Glad you could join us. And that's going to go wide, and that's going to be point Johnson Central. Team's a little bit out of kilter on their serves in this third set.
Yeah, we bragged on them in the second set.
I'm going to quit bragging. How many times have I said that this year?
I know. It's hard not to, though, when they're doing good.
Oh, Miller to Bailey. Bailey off the double block. Hall saves it, brings it back to Baker with a block by Bailey, and that's going to be a point for Knott County Central. Totally unexpected. Baker wasn't expecting Bailey to be done from there.
But that's why that's a free ball. Just set it. Let somebody hit it.
And that's going to be a nice serve by Kenley Baker. East Step unable to do anything with it. Once again, going at East Step, it's going to be a free ball. And either player, both caught at the same time, and it's just like baseball. Sometimes you drop it. That evens the score at 12 apiece for Knott County Central and Johnson Central here in set number 3, both with one set apiece.
Baker serves a knuckleball.
Over the top. What else? There's Ratliff right where she needed to be. Reed with a hit, and it's right on the line. Point Johnson Central. Day will come in, and Hall will go out. Failed to mention Leah Hall is a freshman. Watched her play a lot on the JV earlier. Hit the net. Miller was able to contain it. Out of system. Goes all the way across today, hits it in the net. Thought she was going to go to Reed there and trying to separate that defense you keep talking about. Kahn in for Lakes. Maddie Kahn is a freshman, like we said earlier. Kahn goes back to Reed, and it's going to go long. Puts Knott Central up by 1.
That ball was a little behind Kahn when she took off and couldn't stop.
Kahn back set. Baker, King, Conley, Miller, and that's going to go wide. Thought
She had
they
the
may
right
have been
idea.
touched, but nobody said anything, so
I like
ties it
the
up.
way that she's moving the ball, trying to make them move that defense. She had the right shot. It just stayed up.
Baker, Conley, Taylor straight up, free ball. Goes back set, Baker off the double block, nice job by Kahn. Reed, and that's in, and that's going to put Johnson Central ahead, 15-14.
I like the way you see how that ball goes and it drops. They've got such a rotation on top of the ball, such a roll that ball just drops.
Conley cross on 2. Free ball to Reed, no free ball. Miller tried to catch, but Kahn was there. Nobody went to get it for Johnson Central. Conley to Bailey, and that's going to be a kill, and that will draw even at 15 apiece. Kraft in for Sluss. Ratliff in for Baker. I think Ratliff talks more than I do. I love it. She's talking to everybody out there. Kahn to Reed. Bailey with it up. Back set. Out of kilter a little bit. Kahn says, give it back to me, Clark. But there's Conley.
Nice job by Conley.
Free ball for Johnson Central in system. Gives it up to Clark. Winds it up, but blocked by Baker. Goes back to Miller, and that's a block. That was owned by Day and Clark, and that will make it 16-15.
And if you've seen that, Big 28 had her hands were completely across the net. So if she tips that ball, there's no way it's coming over.
It's going straight down.
Yeah, that was a great block.
Free ball for Johnson Central. Con goes across, and it's going to be all E-step off the double block. Back set to Kraft, short, and that's going to go, it's going to be in the call, and that's going to be a point for Johnson Central.
That was one of those garbage hits, but it worked, so, you know.
It's like a line drive in a scorebook.
Yeah, exactly right. I agree.
A kill or whatever service ace, it's still a point.
It is. I agree.
Conley to Miller over the top, but Clark knocked it back across. Hang time. Johnson Central scrambling. Miller blocked once again by Clark, and that's going to be 4, and it's going to make the lead out to 18-15. And Coach Cornett says, give me a timeout, and we'll take a timeout with her, and it'll be 18-15, set number 3. Stay with us on Hometown 24.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
Welcome back as Coach Cornick calls timeout at 18-15, set number 3. Each team winning one set at this point. Reed is that person once again that seems like gets it going for Johnson Central while she's serving. And like we mentioned, Clark is being the big eagle wall, and she's been putting them down and making Knott County Central having a hard time getting the volleyball around her. Overpass. It's going to be down by E-step, and that will make it 19-15. And they asked about it, and the official said it was right on the ball line, net line. Kraft cuts it off of Day and out of bounds, and it'll be point. Knott County Central, smart play by Kraft, knocking it off the blocker.
You know, man, it's about the only way you're going to get that call is that setter has to be right at that ball with her hands up, acting like she's going to make a play on the ball. That's the only time they'll actually call that as an interference.
And if there's nobody around,
they can't call it.
They can't call it. Con goes off, and it's going to be a double block, but right there was Con. Day across the E-step, draws it near. Waddell knocks across. Free ball goes to Clark in the middle, and there's Waddell once again. Sluss with the outside hit. It's going to be a free ball, short free ball. Ratliff comes in to save it. Clark winds up. Sluss, Miller, Baker, point, Knott County Central. Excellent rally.
It was.
19-17, Johnson Central. Thank you for joining us on Hometown 24, 40 years of bringing local sports.
And you are right. When Clark winds up, she really does wind up.
Oh, yeah. Baker back step. Oh, nice job by Reed. Baker winds up, double block. And it's ball still alive. Clark winds it up. There's Waddell. And it's going to be a point for Johnson Central, 20-17.
I like Baker. She went to that ball and fell and slid over there, and she got up and was running to try to get back to her spot to play the next ball.
Hall comes in, and she will go back to serve at 20-17.
There's been some really good plays in these matches so far.
It's going to be an overpass, and it's going to be point. I think Zoe Miller was looking back to say, should that not be interference on me?
But she didn't, Clark did not slam it down. She just pushed it over, so.
Because she's got the size, just tip it over. Back set goes to Baker. Reed up with it. Hits the rafter, but you can play it on your same side. Miller back set to Baker over the top. Nobody there. Point, Knott County Central. Smart play. 21-18, Johnson Central. Baker with a serve. And that's going to be a miss hit. That's going to go out of bounds, and Rattler says, what did I just do? 21-19. Just come off the setter's hands a little bit different. Hall all the way across the lakes, and it's going to come off the block and point. Johnson Central. (22-19), and we're going to have a sub. 21 has not been in the game, and that's Haley Poulin, I believe.
I'd say they're giving
She's a freshman.
Clark a break. She played pretty hard in the front row, that rotation.
It's hard to come off the bench after sitting there for that long. And that's going to be a block, but if they're able to retain it, Hall goes to E-step. She can kind of miss-hit it. Goes to Baker off the double block, and it's going to be point. Knott County Central makes it 22-20. And Ratliff will, let's see, there's a little bit. Clark's going to come back in. And, of course, in will come Ratliff. Sluss with the serve, and Ratliff unable to grab it. And it's 22-21. And Johnson Central's going to call a timeout, and we'll take a timeout too on Hometown 24. Stay with us. We've got a dandy.
Welcome to the new Women's Health Clinic at Hazard ARH. Our expert team, led by OBGYN Dr. Ramon Thomas, nurse midwife Tanisha Blair, OBGYN physician assistant Crystal Gibson, and nurse practitioner Kristen Hurt. At ARH, we provide compassionate, personalized care for all women. From routine exams and birth control options to pregnancy care, menopause management, and minimally invasive surgery. Trust us with your women's health needs. ARH, more for Appalachia.
Welcome back as Coach DeLong knows a timeout to try to stem the momentum of Knott County Central at 22-21 Johnson Central. I can feel the tension. Oh, just barely got over the net. And that's going to be deep, but there is Baker. Bump set goes out to Waddell over the top. Ratliff, free ball, Knott County Central. Miller to Bailey. There's Reed. Hall over the tops, and there is a dive by Miller to save it. Back set to Lake. She hits it in the net, and that ties the score at 22 apiece. Right here shows your medal now in this third set.
Shows that these two teams has watched some film on each other also.
I've watched a little bit on them. Reed, Hall, Baker cuts it and doesn't get it, and Knott Central will go ahead at 23-22 here in set number 3. And Johnson Central's going to call their second timeout here at 23-22, set number 3. Stay with us. We'll take another timeout.
My name is Emily, and I'm from Laurel County. When I was searching for a college, I wanted to find a place that felt like home and where I could make a difference. The moment I stepped on Alice Lloyd's campus, I knew this was where I belonged. There's a sense of community here and a focus on serving others that you can't find at other colleges. For me, it wasn't just about continuing education. It was about being a part of something bigger. Apply now to find your home at alc.edu.
Welcome back to the Bank of Hindman Volleyball Game of the Week. We're in set number 3, and we're in a crucial time period right here in the set. 23-22 as Johnson Central called the timeout. Sluss to serve, up 1 by Knott County Central. Bump set goes to Waddell over the top, and nobody there, and that will bring Knott County Central to set point number 1. Knott County Central coming back after being down in this set.
But you notice what's Knott County doing? They're playing that, we call that the honey hole, and it's been open, and they're beginning to hit that continuously now.
Nice up by Reed. Baker. Waddell. There's Ratliff with it. Hall, short set over the cross, but there is Miller. Sluss back outside to Baker, draws it, but Hall's there. Ratliff, E-step, and that's going to go wide, and that will be point Johnson Central.
That was a nice volley by both teams.
Set point number 2 for Knott County Central. Not sure if they're out of rotation or what the deal was right here. And Knott County Central is going to call a timeout, and we'll take a timeout. Stay with us on Hometown 24.
September is saving season at Appalachian Wireless, so get an iPhone 14 for just a penny. Yeah, just 1 penny. Or how about $800 off select devices? Or even take $75 off prepaid phones. Do you need more? How about $1,000 off in savings when you bundle? Whether you're upgrading, switching, or just want a good deal, we've got something just for you. So stop by your nearest Appalachian Wireless retail location or visit us at AppalachianWireless.com to let us help you get connected today. Because we are you, we are Appalachian Wireless.
Welcome back after the timeout. Set point number 2 for Knott County Central. Coach Cornett trying to break the monotony here. Feel the tension in the air. Very big set for either one of these teams to win. Sluss, Miller goes to Bailey, and it's blocked. Sluss, it's going to be a free ball for Johnson Central. Let's see, in system. Hall goes outside to Reed off the block. Waddell gets it, goes back set to Baker. There is E-step, goes back to Reed off the block. It's going to be a free ball for Knott County Central. Goes to Bailey. Bailey puts it down, and that's going to be the third set to the Knott County Central Patriots, 25-23. And when we come back, we'll have set number 4. So stay with us on Hometown 24.
Time out for great food. This season, everyone is stopping at Double Quick for their pregame and postgame snacks, drinks, sandwiches, and dinners. Come on in and grab a bucket of Double Quick chicken with all the sides, a real family meal for on-the-go eating. Then there's everyone's favorite, the famous Double Quick pizza rolls. Buy them 1, 2, or 6 at a time. We've got sandwiches galore, your favorite drinks, chips, and snacks, and so much more. Be sure and use your Double Quick rewards card, and good luck to all the teams from the team here at Double Quick.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
Thank you for joining us once again on the Bank of Hyman Game of the Week, and we've had a dandy so far. Knott County Central able to take set number 3, 25-23, after taking set number 2, 25-12. Johnson Central took set number 1, 25-22. Next week on our Bank of Hyman Volleyball Games of the Week, we will have Breathitt County once again here at Knott County Central on October the 6th, which is Monday. And then the next night, we will go to Letcher County Central, where Knott County Central will play Letcher Central in a big district matchup. Hope you can join us. And if you can't join us, go to the games at Knott County Central and Letcher County Central.
Should be 2 good games.
And if you're from Johnson County and you're watching this, go out and support these girls. And season's about to get closer to the end as we get into that October month.
Now right here, Johnson Central has to lock in early. They cannot let Knott County get a 4 or 5 point lead, because then they're going to have to fight from behind the whole game.
And
they're just going to have to suck it up and play right here.
They got to give it their all. They got to get it to the 5th set.
They do.
Baker with a serve, nice up by E-step, goes across to Reed, and that's going to go wide. And some of the fans were asking for a tip, and none of the 4 saw a tip. I didn't see a tip either.
Well, the coach didn't say anything either.
No. Sometimes you're hoping for a tip. Baker, nice up by Lakes. Call, and it's going to be a free ball. Goes all the way across to Waddell. She cuts it, and nobody's going to be there, and it's going to be point Knott County Central. And I agree with you. Johnson Central has to get something going real quickly. Cannot let Knott Central get out to any lead.
No.
Outside to Reed. Reed down the line. Nice hustle by Sluss, but it's going to be Johnson Central point. And Day will come in for Hall, and Conley will come in for Baker, and Lakes will go back to serve. Conley all the way across to Miller, Ratliff, and Lakes went back underneath and hit the net, and that will be point Knott County Central.
I think Johnson Central might be trying a different lineup because they're not really sure when they're checking in and when they're not checking in.
Yeah, I know while ago on the rotation.
Yeah.
Is making sure they was in rotation
Yeah.
on the serve. Reed, man.
That was a nice shot.
She put her down, and that's going to be point Johnson Central. You can see why Reed has as many kills as she has. And, you know, she's just a junior. I'm sure she's going to play on the next level somewhere. Baker over the top, but there's Kahn. Nobody makes the call. And that's going to be point Knott County Central.
See there, that ball, it's like they're not really sure who's the second setter.
If the setter hits it.
Right.
Yeah. Reed tries to poke it down, but it's going to be wide and long. 5-2, Knott County Central. Right now they're kind of flat-footed. They got to pick it up a little bit. E-step to Kahn outside. Clark over the top, and that's going to be a smart play. Point, Johnson Central.
Yeah, somebody from Johnson Central just needs to stand up and say, here, give me the ball. I'll play.
And that's where your seniors have got to take over. Nice serve by Reed. Kraft.
But you can have a bad game, but you don't drop your head and shrug your shoulders. You play.
Right. Nice job by Reed. Miller went up quickly with it. Free ball, Knott County Central. Conley all the way across. Baker hits it in the net. Point, Johnson Central. And, you know, like we've said numerous times, it only takes a few points
to get
you going back.
It does.
And once again, Reed here is usually when she's serving, that's when they've done their best.
Right.
Called by Conley. Free ball. Going back set to Clark over the top. Nobody there again in the middle. And that's going to be point, and it evens it up at 5 apiece. And Lily Blair will come in for Knott County Central for the first time. Lily is a junior for the Lady Pats. Blair to Kraft. Con cross push. Reed can't get it, and it's going to be point, Knott County Central.
You have to like Shay's coaching. She knows her players, but she doesn't care a bit. If you mess up, you come out of there. And they're going to respect her for that in the long run because they're going to – that's why. Look at her team. Look how they play hard.
Right. You got to have expectations, high expectations.
Because I'd
goes.
say they understand if they get out there and start having fun, somebody's coming out.
You have fun when you win.
You do.
Yeah, a lot of it. Con all the way across the east step, and it's going to go long. Right intention, just did not execute it. 7-5, Knott County Central. We're in set number 4. Knott Central has won the last 2 sets. Johnson Central won the first set. Nice serve, nice up by Reed. It's going to be a free ball, and it's not going to clear, and it's going to be point, Knott County Central. Over the top, but there's Miller. Bump set. Baker draws. Ratliff with the quick hands. Outside to Baker, block, but there's Waddell. And second time, D-Step puts it down for Johnson Central.
And, you know, we're talking about that Johnson Central looks like they're a little out of sorts, but a lot of that has to do with the way Knott County's playing the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hall to serve. Baker off the double block, and it's going to come down on Johnson Central side. Point, Knott County Central. Serve Baker. And not going to get to it. That's going to be point, Knott County Central at 10-6. Reminder that Thursday night will be David Adams and Tim Sloan, and Brian Johnson will be at Pike County Central and Shelby Valley. Friday night they will be at Hazard for the Hometown 24 matchup, and that's going to be a point, Knott County Central. Hometown 24 will have the Raceland Rams and the Hazard Bulldogs. Big 1A matchup. Oh, my, has a volleyball bounce sometimes for you. Free ball for Johnson Central. Hall, E-step off the double block. Goes out. Waddell off the block. Nice job by Reed. Ratliff for the call. Over the top. In system, goes over top. Clark was there for it. And there's in the middle once again, and that's going to be a point for Lakes. 11-7. Clark to serve. Cross to Waddell off the double block. Hall with a punch. E-step hits it down that middle. Oh, block by Baker. Point, Johnson Central.
You know, when Johnson Central, they look as good as any team we've watched, but it's like they lose focus.
Back set to Kraft. Nice hustle by Hall. Point, Knott County Central. Sluss to serve. Waddell with a kill, point, Knott County Central. And you know, you got to be like in any sport, you got to be a cohesive unit.
You do.
And you got to, all parts have got to move together.
And the way we're sitting above them, so it looks so much, we can see it so much easier.
Oh, and that's going to be.
Yes, that drops in.
Yeah, E-step thought it was going wide, and it turned back, and it's going to be an ace, 14-8 for Sluss. And Johnson Central's going to call timeout, and we'll be back in 30 seconds on Hometown 24.
Tucked deep within the rolling hills and ancient ridgelines of the Appalachian Mountains, Eastern Kentucky is a place where heritage runs deep and community runs deeper. Known for its coal mining legacy, bluegrass traditions, and fiercely proud people, this region tells a story of resilience, creativity, and quiet beauty. I'm going to take you along with me as I visit some different counties of Eastern Kentucky and explore what all this amazing region has to offer. Hi, I'm Rebecca McCauley, and this is Bluegrass and Backroads.
Yep. Welcome back as Johnson Central's called timeout. We're in set number 4, 14-8. Knott Central with 2 sets to Johnson Central's 1 set. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate all the sponsors. Appreciate Knott County Central High School. AD Jeff Honeycutt and Principal Bobby Pollard for letting us be here. Appreciate Hometown 24 and all the people behind the cameras that make it work. And people don't understand how much it takes to get this broadcast going.
No, man, you just come in and everything's already set. We just have to sit down and put our headphones on.
Yeah, and talk.
Right.
Sluss to serve. All across. It's going to be double hit. Man, we can't get anything going right here. Neither team, and it's going to be a point for Knott County Central. That was a struggle. That was on the struggle bus for both sides in that time.
How many seniors does Johnson Central have?
At Johnson Central in their main rotation, I believe let me look right after this play.
You're fine.
Goes to Bailey in the middle, and that's going to be a kill, making it 16-8. And in their main rotation, they have 2 seniors. So got a lot coming back next year, got a lot to work for getting toward the postseason.
Now, this is a good example. Look, Knott County's got all the momentum on their side. You see how much harder Bailey's hitting the ball. Look how more energized they are.
And that's going to go long, and it'll be Knott Central going up 17-8.
Right here is where Johnson Central just needs to, they need to get the ball back and just score.
Got to muster a little
They
bit
do.
going here. Hall.
And when you can look at them, you can tell they're a good team. They're having an off night. That happens.
Yep. East Elk battles for it. Ratliff with a hustle, and it's going to be point Knott County Central. And sophomore Peyton Duncan will make her first appearance for the Lady Eagles. And I have not said Golden Eagles, not one time. Just used to that. Nice hustle that time, coming off the bench and giving them a little bit of attitude on the floor. Blocked by double block at times. Waddell over the top, but there's Reed. Comes across. Free ball, Knott County Central. Out to Waddell. Battle for it, it'll come down on Johnson Central's side. 19-8, Knott County Central. Goes outside, Baker draws, nice shot down the line, point Johnson Central. See if East Elk can get a bunch here for Johnson Central. Need them in a hurry. A little bit of an overpass. Oh, nice hit that time by Reed. Point Johnson Central.
They're beginning to find that hole right there. Knott County has the hole right in the center of the floor. Like I said, tonight both teams their second row is playing deep. So there's a big gap right there in the center of the floor.
And you got to find where it's at.
You do.
Corner, wherever. Double block on Bailey. Sluss with a call.
And that's part, like you said, because Johnson Central's hitting the ball down the line, so it opens that middle up.
Lakes off the double block. Miller Sluss with a call. Over the top, nice job, but it's going to go out of bounds, and it'll make it 20-10 Knott County Central.
Waddell's done a good job tonight of mixing these hits up. That was a nice roll. just over the blockers and in front of that second row.
Free ball for Knott County Central goes to Bailey in the middle, and it's going to be double block, but it's going to go wide, and it will be point Knott County Central. Reed off the double block. There's Baker.
Baker.
Goes to Waddell. Man, she put that, that's the hardest one she's hit all night. 22-20.
But you see how fast that ball was moved. Johnson Central's defense could not move that way fast enough to get to it.
Goes back, Reed over the top, but Waddell with a call. Outside, hits it off the double block. Short set to Baker. She turns it back, but Baker's there, and it's going to be point by Miller, and that will make it 23-10.
Miller's going to suck them right to the middle of the floor, and then somebody's going to hammer the line.
Baker, and it's going to go long. Point Johnson Central. Once again, a reminder their next games will be next Monday and Tuesday. Monday, Breathitt County at Knott County Central. Tuesday, Knott County Central at Letcher Central. Friday night, Hometown 24 will be in the holler at Hazard. It will be the Raceland Rams and the Hazard Bulldogs, both in the top 10 in the state in 1A. And that's going to be Miller knocking it off, and that's going to be set and match point for Knott County Central.
Like I said, you can look at Johnson Central and tell they're a good team. I just think Knott County's style of play has sort of knocked them off their game plan, and they just was a little out of sort all night. Like, you know, substitute, not really sure when they're going in. So I'm guessing they may have changed their lineup. They may have somebody out sick or hurt.
Day down the line, King able to save it. Or Sluss, nice back set, and that's going to go long. Point Johnson Central, match point number 2 coming up. Sluss, oh, and that's a block by Reed, and that's point Johnson Central. A lot of good parts in the play of Johnson Central.
Yeah, they just need to get
Still got time to put it all together.
Yeah.
Still got time.
Knott County right now is just playing really good team ball.
Day over the top. Sluss with a call, goes to Bailey in the middle, and she throws it back, and that's going to end the match at 25-13. First set went to Johnson Central 25-22. Set 2 went to Knott County 25-12. Set 3 went to Knott County 25-23. And set 4 25-13. Knott County Central will improve to 23-2. Johnson Central will drop to 12-11. And our Alice Lloyd player of the game will be?
Avery Sluss. I thought she played extremely hard. You know, we were sitting here deciding who are we going to give this to, but I really think she stood out. You know, you're looking at these liberos, and they have to take these shots that these other teams are hitting at them. And she's more than willing to stand right there and take her part.
And she also is the second setter a lot of times.
Exactly.
And did a lot of good job of doing
and,
so.
Right, if you notice tonight, she probably said as much as Miller did because of the way they were hitting the ball, you know, pushing the ball toward Miller. Miller covers a lot of ground, so her taking that ball, you're right, Sluss does have to do a lot of setting.
And good luck to Johnson Central. I don't think we have them anymore. And with Johnson, our executive producer, Josh Cornett, is a nut, as Barney Fife would say. But good luck to Johnson Central, and who knows? One of our 14th region teams may be going to Johnson Central to play in the first round of state. You just never know. They have a lot of talent.
They do.
And,
they do. And he has plenty of time to get them back together.
Yeah. And with that being said and everything, Hometown 24, we thank everybody, including Josh Cornett. We thank our producer, Stephen Banks. We thank Greg on controls tonight, Greg Taylor. And
we'll see everybody on Monday.
And we'll see everybody on Monday and Tuesday of next week. And if you in the creek, well, I ain't gonna say that. But Godspeed to everyone and be safe. And with that being said, good night and God bless.
No one likes an uninvited guest, especially when that guest is a potentially dangerous pest. So call Bluegrass Pest Management and let the pros take care of your problem. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, providing much-needed jobs to local people. With 3 locations in Hazard, London, and Hindman, they treat rats, mice, roaches, bed bugs, termites, and many more. Open Monday through Friday and now servicing all of Kentucky. Say goodbye to your uninvited guests today. Call Bluegrass Pest Management.